Well, Matt Kenninger, Associate Practice Lead at Frontier View, joins us now. Thank you, Matt. Always a pleasure to have you. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for having me on the program today.
So what will President Museveni's re-election mean for government policy in Uganda?
So I would begin by saying Mr. Museveni's re-election is not really a huge surprise. I think it was quite broadly expected. But in terms of what it means for policy continuity, broadly, we expect to see pro-business policies continue going forwards. We don't expect to see a major or a significant shift in policy over the next year or so, or during Mr. Museveni's next term. Quite broadly, Uganda is viewed quite favorably by allies in Europe and North America, so there's probably very little pressure on Museveni's government to change direction in terms of policy. But related to this, there's unlikely to be an opening up of political space for the foreseeable future in Uganda. So for the foreseeable future, really, policy will stay as it is in our view.
And following the weak performance in 2020 caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, what is the economic outlook for Uganda this year?
Yeah, so certainly growth has weakened in 2020. The economy contracted by around about 6.5% in the second quarter of 2020, which was pretty significant. However, we do expect the economy to narrowly avoid recession in 2020, which is quite good by global standards, really. And fundamentally, the economy is in a very positive position to perform well in 2021. We are expecting growth of around about 4 or 5% of GDP in 2021, really driven by strong domestic consumption and, to a limited extent, a recovery in exports. In 2021, we also expect inflation to remain quite low and the currency to be stable as well.
So what should companies be anticipating in 2021 in terms of risks and opportunities?
As I mentioned, the fundamental or the economic outlook is fundamentally quite positive. So it does offer opportunities for companies, both global, both multinationals and domestic companies. Selling to consumers is probably going to be a really bright spot in the economy. So consumer spending is likely to accelerate in 2021. Manufacturing is also expected to perform well. And the government's finances are in quite a strong position. So selling to government is also going to offer opportunities. But in terms of risks, so the government is pushing ahead with a localization agenda. There's likely to be an increase in import duties, taxes and incentives for local production, which does offer an opportunity for local manufacturers, but presents a risk for companies importing products. And there's also a risk of a tightening of lockdown restrictions. Across Africa, we're seeing an increase in coronavirus cases. If there is a significant tightening in Uganda, obviously, this would present a risk to the economy, especially services sectors. But broadly, I would say the opportunities outweigh the risks for the private sector in 2021 in Uganda.
Well, Matt, we appreciate your time always. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you.